to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies that surprisingly bombed at the box office. Any film that failed to double its budget during its theatrical run is up for grabs this time around.
And I also believe if things had gone on that way, this place would have got the best of it.
Number 10. Fight Club.
Every evening I died, and every evening I was born again, resurrected.
We were all Jack's sense of complete surprise when we found out that this dark comedy didn't do that well at first. Fight Club boasted an impressive cast that featured stars like Edward Norton, Brad Pitt, and Helena Bonham Carter. Its subversive humor and quotable lines made it memorable, and Fight Club features one of Hollywood's best twists. Despite all of the film's advantages, it lost somewhere around $24 to $28 million.
Someone loved it intensely for one day, then tossed it.
This may have been because critics were extremely split on the film's quality upon its release, or maybe audience members didn't talk it up because they were following the first rule of Fight Club. Either way, this Fincher film managed to stay relevant after losing the battle for the top of the box office.
Tomorrow will be the most beautiful day of Raymond Castle's life. His breakfast will taste better than any meal you and I have ever tasted.
Number 9. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Mr. Pilgrim! It is I, Matthew Patel. Consider our fight begun.
It turns out that the 8-bit hero of this film had to fight 7 evil exes and low box office returns. On a budget that ranged from $60 to $85 million, Scott Pilgrim sadly made less than $50 million when it was first released. It's likely that audiences were just too unfamiliar with the character to give it a shot. If more moviegoers had shown up, they'd find fast-paced editing, unique visuals, and extremely catchy songs.
We are Sex Bob, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff!
They'd also see a cast that was jam-packed with future superstars. Since the film's release, the property had found massive success in mediums like video games and TV. It's hard to nail down why the world was against Scott Pilgrim when he first stepped on the stage.
Am I dreaming? I'll leave you alone forever now. Thanks.
Number 8. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Look, everyone, look, I've got it! The big golden ticket is mine!
You're pulling our legs, Charlie.
After the young Charlie Bucket found a golden ticket, he took us on a journey unlike any other. His Chocolate Factory tour captured our imaginations because of great production design and the unforgettable characters he found along the way. Speaking of icons, Gene Wilder's pitch-perfect performance as Willy Wonka managed to unnerve us and make us smile in equal measure.
Yes, the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing!
But this sweet treat wasn't savored right away. While it cost a relatively small $4 million to make, it failed to double its original budget. The strong reviews didn't help bring people in either. Since Willy Wonka achieved massive popularity after TV airings and a major re-release, it's almost impossible to imagine a time when this movie was a financial failure.
But I am different. I want it more than any of them.
Charlie, you'll get your chance. One day things will change.
Number 7. Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga.
Who do we have here?
She's from a place of abundance.
Nearly a decade after Fury Road raced its way into moviegoers' hearts, Warner Bros. Released a high-octane prequel. The 2024 Furiosa-focused film delivered with an engrossing story that fleshed out the tough anti-heroine. It also contained impressive set pieces that could compete with Fury Road's best moments. Surprisingly, neither the well-reviewed story nor thrills were enough. As of May 2024, the film stands to lose at least $100 million.
Where did you think you were going? If you survive everything we take on together, you'll have all the skills you need to get wherever you want to go.
Did Furiosa arrive too long after the initial hype for the franchise had died down? Or was it a mistake to give it a slightly higher budget than its predecessor, since Fury Road barely turned a profit? Whatever the reason, Furiosa's stunning failure could spell trouble for the future of the Mad Max franchise.
What was that?
That
Is the darkest of angels.
Number 6. West Side Story.
All right. So tonight is a social experiment, boys and girls. Brotherhood and all that, and you're the guinea pigs.
The simultaneous release of In the Heights in theaters and on streaming is likely what caused that well-reviewed musical to flop at the box office. but it's much harder to figure out why West Side Story met a similar fate.
Don't leave me here. Get off of me! Tino, kill me! Kill me too, Tino!
Since the previous version of this tale of two star-crossed lovers won Best Picture the last time it was in theaters, it was far from an obscure musical. And while it had the legendary Steven Spielberg behind the camera, young stars shown in the cast. The new West Side Story also made great updates that served as great additions for longtime fans. But even Oscar buzz couldn't help this movie earn back its $100 million budget.
You know, I wake up to everything I know either getting sold or wrecked or being taken over by people that I don't like. And they don't like me.
Number 5. Dredd.
Your crimes include multiple homicide and the attempted murder of a judge. If you do not comply, the sentence is death.
In 2012, Karl Urban starred as the violent and no-nonsense Judge Dredd. Whenever this officer went after a criminal, we knew we were in for brutal and stylized action. Dredd was also surrounded by wonderful allies and truly intimidating villains. Although good word of mouth allowed the movie to open at number 1, it still lost approximately $20 million.
If I don't come back and you get cornered, you might not want to get taken alive.
A good chunk of the audiences may have avoided the film because the 1995 Dredd film was so campy and terrible. At the same time, it's still a mystery as to why the 2012 movie was only showered with love from legions of fans after it left the theaters.
She's a pass.
Knew she would be.
Number 4. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Thinking who I got to beat in this horse race, that's all.
I didn't realize this was a race. I don't care for watching horses.
A hefty price tag of $200 million meant the odds were stacked against this historical drama as soon as the budget was approved. However, there was a lot of faith that they could make it back. While Martin Scorsese was behind multiple aspects of production, talents like Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Lily Gladstone were busy giving towering performances.
I don't even know if you love me anymore.
Why? Of course I love you.
I need you here.
Their efforts seemed to be for naught when the film lost around $100 million. The poor returns were especially shocking in a year where the historical drama Oppenheimer broke box office records. Even though Killers of the Flower Moon earned more money after Oscar buzz surrounded it, the production couldn't recoup all of their losses.
You're not going to give me that money. No, sir. Well, you're going to regret this.
Number 3. Blade Runner 2049.
You're hurt. I'm not paying for that.
I'll glue it.
Although the first film in this sci-fi universe failed to light the box office on fire, no one was expecting history to repeat itself. Unfortunately, Blade Runner 2049 couldn't break even on its reported $150 million budget. The film's failure stunned so many because it gave audiences more of what they loved from the first go-around. Not only did the writers expand upon the futuristic world, but we also got to see it through a completely new point of view.
I know it's real.
The long-awaited sequel also answered lingering questions while setting enticing new mysteries. Sadly, none of the praise for 2049's production design or main performances translated into big box office receipts.
Only I know you love pain.
Number 2. The Thing.
How you doing, old boy?
I don't know who to trust.
Whenever people talk about the greatest sci-fi films of all time, this John Carpenter masterpiece inevitably ends up in the conversation. The 10 story followed a group of researchers that discovered that a brutal and shape-shifting creature was hiding amongst them. Thanks to practical effects and skillful direction, the sci-fi tale felt surprisingly realistic. But the merits of this dark tale initially kept people away. Both critics and audiences weren't fans of the violence, paranoia, and slow burn plot.
We're gonna find out who's the Thing. Watching Norris in there gave me the idea that
the negativity around The Thing also caused it to get frozen out of a prime box office spot. Thankfully, moviegoers were willing to give it a second chance after its stunning early failure.
If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it. And then it's won.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Shawshank Redemption.
Andy kept pretty much to himself at first. I guess he had a lot on his mind, trying to adapt to life on the inside.
This beloved Stephen King adaptation simply couldn't win when it was first released. In early test screenings, audiences showered the movie with heaps of praise. The prison struggles, plot twists, and character journeys all stuck with early viewers. Shawshank Redemption seemed poised for a great opening before a horrific box office opening brought it all crashing down. During the initial theater run, Shawshank Redemption didn't make its $25 million budget back. A big Oscar campaign and successful TV reruns brought it back into the public consciousness in the next few years. It still routinely tops many lists of must-watch films for critics and audiences. It's safe to say, Shawshank Redemption overcame its shockingly bad debut.
I suppose I could set it up for you. That would save you some money. If you get the forms, I'll prepare them for you. Nearly free of charge.
Which of these movies deserved better box office returns? Let us know in the comments.
That's not good.
Full lockdown. They're going nowhere.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.